Tea Party names its heroes and targets. Check this headline out right there. Leaders of the Tea Party Express marked Tax Day on Thursday by celebrating their efforts over the last year and unveiling a list of heroes and targets ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. In a lengthy news conference that partially amounted to a pat on the back for their efforts at affecting a handful of key races in the last several months, the group said it is supporting only candidates it feels have a viable shot at winning next November. I wonder if that's their way of saying they're only going to support mainstream type candidates. In politics, you always have to be careful to promise what to do, said Sal Russo, a GOP consultant who is aiding the Tea Party in its efforts. We try to keep our focus on the doable. We have a lot of wonderful candidates that simply can't win. So our focus is on the candidates that can win so we can really focus on taking America back. But among the list of supported candidates is Sharon Angle, a former Republican member of the Nevada Assembly who is an anti-tax champion vying to take on Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. A recent poll indicates Angle has lags far behind the other two Republicans seeking the party's Senate nomination, college basketball star Danny Tarkanian and former state GOP chairman Sue Lowden. The Mason-Dixon survey for the Las Vegas Review Journal showed Angle at 5%, while Lowden registered 45%, and Tarkanian polled at 27%. Angle, who has aggressively touted her connection to the Tea Party, addressed the gathering Thursday, calling the movement a tsunami of conservatism across the country. The group is also supporting California State Assemblyman Chuck DeVore, who is vying with former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, and former Representative Tom Campbell to take on longtime Democratic Senator Barbara Boxer. DeVore also lags his opponents by nearly 20 points, according to a recent Los Angeles Times USC poll. Former Florida House Speaker Marco Rubio, who is facing off against Governor Charlie Crist for the GOP nomination and has often tiptoed around his connection to the movement, also won a rousing endorsement from the group Thursday. So did Pat Toomey, a former head of the Club for Growth, who will take on Senator Arlen Specter in Pennsylvania should Specter win his own primary. Specter, a longtime Republican, switched his affiliation to the Democratic Party last year in part to avoid a primary challenge from Toomey. Rand Paul, the son of Texas Representative Ron Paul, who is running for Senate in Kentucky, and Todd Tiahrt, a congressman running for Senate in Kansas, also won Tea Party Express endorsements Thursday. On the House side, the group is also backing the Democrat backing one Democrat, Walt Minnick of Idaho, who is part of the Blue Dog Coalition. Who is part of the Blue Dog Coalition of centrist Democrats. He has long railed against pork barrel spending and voted against the recent health care bill. The heroes list also includes several members of Congress with bona fide conservative credentials, most of whom do not appear to face difficult re-election bids. Reps Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, Joe Wilson of South Carolina, Michelle Bachmann of Minnesota, Mike Pence of Indiana, Tom Price of Georgia, and Tom McClintock of California. In addition to Reid, Boxer, and Specter, the group said it will aggressively target Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas, the struggling Democrat who faces a difficult primary challenge and a tough general election battle should she make it that far. On the House side, Tea Party activists said they are taking aim at Democratic Representatives Betsy Markey of Colorado, Ellen Grayson of Florida, Barron Hill of Indiana, Barney Frank of Massachusetts, Dina Titus of Nevada, John Spratt of South Carolina, Tom Perriello of Virginia, Jerry Connolly of Virginia, and Alan Mollahan of West Virginia. The Washington event Thursday ends the Tea Party Express's 3-week bus tour that began in Searchlight, Nevada, which is Reid's hometown. The tour hit several key districts throughout the Midwest and Northeast and culminated in an event in Boston, Massachusetts on Wednesday that featured former Alaskan Governor Sarah Palin. While the vast majority of the group's endorsement went to Republicans, group leader Mark Williams said the movement is not partisan. Excuse me, man, do I need a cup of coffee. Please don't tell me I'm a Republican tool, he said. Interesting. Well, this is basically the deal of this article. First thing I have to point out is that this article from CNN is talking about the Tea Party Express. There's more than one Tea Party out there, which is kind of weird. But the truth is that there are different factions of the Tea Party, and there are different Tea Parties, I guess. There are a couple different groups, what you'd call them, of Tea Partiers, or organizers. One is the more grassroots type protesters that use the Tea Party name. The other group that uses the Tea Party name is the Tea Party Express, which this has links back to Dick Armey and other characters such as that. You can see that they're being GOP run and or co-opted by these people, because you have Sarah Palin speaking at these events. And Sarah Palin, by the way, has brought in millions of dollars since her vice presidential campaign, along with Mr. McCain, the other shill in that election. Yeah, it's becoming quite obvious that the whole Tea Party movement, whether or not it actually started as a grassroots movement or not, no longer matters, in the sense that it's now becoming completely co-opted. Coffee it is. They're becoming completely co-opted, and you're beginning to see proof. As a matter of fact, I recently saw one YouTube video of a group of We Are Changers that showed up at a Tea Party event, and they weren't causing any problems. They were being completely respectful and polite to everybody. They had a banner that said, investigate 9/11, demand answers, I believe is what it said. And the organizer of the Tea Party, and this was one of these Tea Party Express, corporate sponsored BS Tea Parties, the organizer of the Tea Party had about 8 or 10 people with American flags and "Don't Tread on Me" flags and what have you, all hold their flags up, all nice and pretty, right in front of course, "We Are Change, investigate 9/11, demand answers" banner. So that is further proof. You can check out YouTube, or check out the We Are Change main page. I think I saw it on wearechange.org. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was on wearechange.org. Go there, try to check that out if you'd like to see that. Next, we're going to get into Bill Clinton criticizes Bachmann's gangster government line. Michelle Bachmann is a representative for Minnesota. She's a Republican, and she's been known to use the line "gangster government," which she's correct to do so. It's not like she's saying something that's untrue or, a slanderous statement. It's not slander if you're telling the truth. But here's the article. Bill Clinton criticizes Bachmann's gangster government line. Yeah, that's the headline. There you go. I didn't quite see that, but alright. And this is out of CBS News, by the way. Michelle Bachmann railed against the gangster government before thousands of Tea Party protesters on Thursday, but that kind of rhetoric can have serious consequences, former President Bill Clinton said Thursday. "They are not gangsters," Mr. Clinton said in an interview with the New York Times. "They were elected. They are not doing anything they were not elected to do." The former president, who was in his first term in office when Timothy McVeigh bombed an Oklahoma City federal building, drew parallels between the anti-government rhetoric being used now and what was being said then. He will speak about the Oklahoma City terrorist attack and its current relevance at a symposium today. How many references do you need to OKC in a matter of, a week's time or whatever in the news? Am I the only one noticing this? It's not even like the last week. It's like the last, few months. You're going to continue to hear this, by the way. They keep doing this, They're going to tie the Tea Party movement, the truthers, all together, and they're going to wrap these people up with the neo-Nazis, And with all the rest of it, they're gonna demonize the militia group. They're gonna say, oh, Timothy McVeigh. As soon as any militia talk gets brought up, bam, McVeigh, OKC.